Hey, what's up? This is Bpx representing the Blu Pill Exodus. Today, I'm going to share with you the master list of some content creators that I found in the YouTube Manosphere. This video was sponsored by Grapeade. Not only is it delicious and refreshing, Grapeade helps you detect shady chicks who are going to accuse you of misconduct after having relations with you in the bedroom. Check out their other flavors too: Bust Her Cherry, Vanilla Vanessa, and Eve's Adam's Apple.
You've been sleeping far too long, and now is the time to wake up. This is the Blu Pill Exodus.
Okay, before we get into the heavy hitters, we're going to talk about the founders of the Manosphere. These are the OGs, the originators of the red pill philosophy. The first one is Patrice O'neill. He was a comedian, kind of heavy-set black dude. All he did was drop jewels all day. He used to be on this radio program. He had a segment called Blaque Pill, and he always used to talk about red pill truths, about female nature and everything regarding like real life and how people are and how women behave behind the scenes, how to manage women, how to maintain successful relationships, how to go about your life as a man. Patrice O'Neill did all of that. Big shout out to Patrice O'Neill, RIP. He was one of the original founders of the red pill manosphere philosophy. So the second person is Tom Lycus. Tom Lycus had a radio show. It was 97.1, based out in California. On the radio show, he used to help people with their issues. He used to have this philosophy, I guess it was called Lycus 101, where he used to school everybody to the game. Sometimes he had like angry chicks calling up. Either they try to chastise him or they gave him kudos for speaking the truth. Tom Lycus was dropping mad jewels on his show, you know? Blow me up, Tom, for real, take me out with a bomb. Okay, so moving on, the next person who we'll be discussing briefly is Rolo Tomasi. Now, Rolo Tomasi is another person from the old school, one of the originators of the RP. He wrote this book called The Rational Male, and in the book The Rational Male, he talks about navigating relationships and how to conduct yourself as a rational male, how to present yourself and get the best out of life. Yeah, check out Rolo Tomasi and definitely check out his book The Rational Male. I think he has a YouTube channel, so check that out too. The next person who we'll discuss is this guy called Mystery. Back in my days in college, my friend Peter, big shout out to Peter, you know, you put me onto game way back in 1999 and whatnot, 2000. My boy Peter used to always tell me about this kid called Mystery. Peter was like, he was like a really super smart, nerdy dude, but he had game with the women. Like he always got what he want with chicks, and he always had chicks chasing after him, and he always knew how to put it down with chicks, even though he was like a straight up nerd. Like if you didn't know him, you would think that he's like a brainiac incel dude, but he was like one of the coolest dudes that I ever met. He was super smart, but he had game. He said he learned it from this guy called Mystery. Mystery, he had this thing called the Mystery Method, where he also broke down game, and he talked about how to approach chicks and how to conduct yourself. Yeah, check out this Mystery Method thing. So shout out to you, Peter, for putting me on. Wherever you at, good looking, for real. The next OG we're going to talk about is ARC. Those abbreviations stand for Alan Roger Curry. Alan Roger Curry is like another OG of the game. You know, he's been around for a while. He coined the phrase free attention or non-sexual attention. I heard that when people say it, it's like he has like a copyright on it or something. So if you say it, you're going to have to come out those pockets. Big shout out to you, ARC, for coining the term non-sexual attention. From this day forth, I'll be calling it non-sexual affection, and we'll be talking about that later on in the videos and what that is. Yeah, ARC also schooled dudes on how to manage girls and how to navigate relationships and how to conduct yourself with women and stuff like that. So shout out to ARC, Alan Roger Curry, word up. The next person on the list is Tariq Nasheed. I knew about Tariq Nasheed for a while, but I didn't know that he also was on game, and you know, he was talking about women and stuff like that. But originally I knew Tariq Nasheed from his documentary. So he made different documentaries, and he made series called Hidden Colors. But he also had like a lot of game, and he knew how to conduct himself with women, and you know, he schooled a lot of guys to game way back, probably more than 10 years ago. But he's still in the game, and he's still producing and stuff like that. So he's a great producer. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed. Okay, so those are what I call the fathers of red pill philosophy. As we continue, we're going to talk about the current YouTube content creators and what they're all about. So the current YouTube content creators that I'm going to talk about is Coach Corey Wayne. Coach Corey Wayne, he was like one of the first ones that I found. He talks about relationships. He talks about how to conduct yourself with women, and he gives advice to guys on what to look out for. So he's kind of like a good starting point. So up next, we have this guy called Darius M. I think he's out in Chicago. He gives like a lot of truths, no punches held. He goes in and he talks about the devious natures of chicks and what to look out for. He talks about all of that stuff, all that good stuff. So Darius M, look him up on YouTube. I guarantee you'll kind of like vibe with the stuff that he's saying. The next content creator that I wanted to give a shout out to is Mr. Locario. I think he's out here with me. He's out here in New York City, from where I'm from Brooklyn. Mr. Locario is one of my favorites because every situation that he talks about, he always applies his logic and reason to it. So he has a show, I think he's under Locario Fan, and he also has a channel called Mr. Locario. He has a show with Miles Cunningham. They usually take calls and they discuss with men with their problems. Mr. Locario, he tries to help guys with their problems and stuff like that. He came out with a documentary called Game Kings. I think he dropped it last year in November. I think he dropped it on November 29th. I have yet to see the documentary, but I'm definitely going to hit him up and ask him for a copy so I could check it out and see what that's all about. But him and Miles Cunningham, they run a show, and sometimes they have Steve the Dean Williams on it. We'll talk about him in a second. He also does a show with Fresh and Fit. So Mr. Locario, he also has a book called How to Attract 2 Women a Day, and he also has a kind of like a movie that goes with it, which is pretty good. I think the movie is about 49 minutes long or something like that. In the movie, it's kind of like what's in the book, but he has like this white dude who's having trouble with chicks, and he's not really put on game, and his chick just left him. So Mr. Locario comes along and he schools the white dude on how to get chicks and stuff like that. So the white dude becomes successful and he starts picking up chicks, and as a result, Mr. Locario ends up getting what he wants out of it too. Mr. Locario definitely got his at the end, and the white dude got his. So everybody came out happy. So check out that when you get a chance. How to Sleep with 2 Women a Day, the movie, and also pick up the book How to Sleep with 2 Women a Day. I think they have the ebook and the hard copy. Moving on, we're going to talk about Fresh and Fit. So you have Myron Gaines and you have Fresh Prince CEO. Myron Gaines came on the scene, I think it was The View or one of those shows. They try to call him out for him being kind of misogynistic, which is not true. He was, dropping jewels, but, I guess the public didn't like it, so they try to chastise him and stuff like that. And he had a account on TikTok. From what happened, they said that he got banned off of TikTok and that they closed down his account because he was dropping RP bombs and people wasn't ready for that, so they shut down his account. But he still has a YouTube channel with Fresh Prince CEO, which is cool. They have guests on the show and stuff like that. They recently had Rolo Tomasi and some other people on the show, a couple of porn stars, a couple of millionaires. So Fresh and Fit is out of Miami. They also do a show with Mr. Locario. They're young cats. They're probably like late 20s, early 30s. I know the young cats, but they're out in Miami, and they're getting it out in Miami. So when you get a chance, check out the Fresh and Fit show on YouTube. So next on the list, we have Kevin Samuels. I think he's probably like early 50s or something like that. And I'm not sure where he's at. I think he said he was out in New York City or something like that. Or he said he was coming to New York City. But Kevin Samuels, he has a show where a lot of women call up, and they call up to him with their problems. They're all about finding high value men. They call up to him and they want him to figure out how to get a man or how to keep a man or something like that. Kevin Samuels is famous for putting chicks in their place. He had a show, and then on the show, he had some chick who was trying to get right, and then he called her average at best, and it blew up. It went viral on YouTube or whatever like that. So Kevin Samuels, he usually doesn't hold his punches, and he's very blunt and straightforward with the chicks, and he just a savage with it or whatever like that. Next we have the Saint and the Sinner. I'm not sure if I did that right, but that was my impression. So the Saint and the Sinner, he goes by the name of Marquette Devon Burton. The Saint
and the Sinner.
I don't remember where he's at, but he's a cool dude, and he's like a businessman and stuff like that. Marquette has this thing called Assassin. Like, I guess it's like a group that he put together, or kind of like a network that he put together called Assassin. I guess with them, like, he provides guidance. He has like the female saints and then the male saints. So he has this thing where he provides guidance and things to help them build as a person and how to navigate their way through relationships and, you know, how to grow and become successful. Yeah, check out The Saint in the Center, Marquette Devon Burton. Now we have AMS, which stands for Alpha Male Strategies. AMS is also in New York. Shout out to AMS. He provides strategies on dealing with women and how to conduct yourself as an alpha male. Check out Alpha Male Strategies on YouTube. Bpx Fearless. Woo! How he does it, he goes kind of like, woo! All right, guys. Yeah, so that's Bpx Fearless. I think he's out in Medellin, Colombia. He was out in Colombia. I'm not sure if he's still there. I think he's based out of Colombia. And he's, what is he? I think he said he was Nigerian or something like that. He said he gets chicks on a regular, and a lot of guys gets advice from him and stuff like that. What he's saying, a lot of stuff he's saying is truth, you know what I mean? I don't agree with everything that all these people are saying, but if you put everything together and you know what to take out of what they're saying, it could really improve you dealing with women, and it could keep you out of a lot of crap. Check out Bpx Fearless on YouTube and give his stuff a listen and see what he's saying. Coach Greg Adams. So Coach Greg Adams, what do you say? He says something like, she's been ran through more times than a Holland Tunnel. You know, he has these things that, like, he says all the time, but it's kind of funny. He also says something like, how you going to mess with her when she got more red flags than a Chinese parade? He's like, how you going to mess with her when she got more red flags than a Chinese parade? He calls himself coach because he really was a coach back in the days. I think he said he coached like a volleyball team or a basketball team, but he's the coach back in the days. But, you know, now he's coaching guys on relationships and on how to keep yourself out of the red zone and how to keep yourself out of hot water when it comes to dealing with chicks. CGA, Coach Greg Adams, big shout out to you. Word up. The next one is Young Men's Red Pill Daily. Young Men's Red Pill Daily. He's another young cat. He was into athletics and stuff like that. I think he said he just came into the RP a little while ago, but I like his stuff. Sometimes he kind of incorporates the Bible into it, you know, so he drops it down like biblically. He seems like a really cool, genuine dude. Definitely check out Young Men's Red Pill Daily. As we continue, you have Better Bachelor with a face for radio and a voice for print. That's what he says. Yeah, so that's his thing, though. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if he's still saying that, but in a lot of videos, that's what he says. He has a face for radio and a voice for print. I don't know what that is, but on Better Bachelor, he like looks at like situations. He tells you stories about situations that guys have gotten themselves into with women, and he tries to diagnose the situation and talk about the story and stuff like that. And then at the end of the show, he usually has this segment where he's looking at dating profiles, and then he's calling out chicks for their ludicrous requests and demands on men and stuff like that. Check out Better Bachelor when you get a chance. So moving on, we have Steph is Cold, and his thing is you gotta dig out them guts until she mother. He said something like that. So shout out to Steph is Cold. He drops it as it is. He schools young guys on, you know, dealing with women, and he goes in and talks about chicks' female nature and, you know, his experiences and, you know, how to conduct yourself as a man and whatnot. So check out Steph is Cold. The next one you have is Richard Cooper, and his YouTube channel goes by the name of Entrepreneurs in Cars. From the videos that I saw, most of the time, you know, he's talking about chicks and stuff like that, but I guess he does get into the whole business thing. Richard Cooper, Entrepreneurs in Cars, you know, he discusses dealing with women and stuff like that, and conducting yourself as a man, and relationships, all of that. And the next person on the YouTube Manosphere master list is Black Ram 313. Why? Because it's therapeutic, man. Word up. Shout out to Black Ram 313. He's another person that putting it down in the YouTube manosphere. He talks about the females and he just goes in talking about chicks and things to watch out for when you're dealing with chicks and stuff like that. He coined the term female, so shout out to Black Ram 313 for that. Check out his channel on YouTube. And next, I won't be talking about all content creators, but I'll be talking about Anthony Spade. First you have beta males, and then you have the alpha male, but what's in between? You have the sigma male, represented as the tiger. That's Anthony Spade. On his channel, he looks at situations that guys put themselves into and diagnoses the situation. He seems like he's like a loner and he keeps himself, but he seems like a really cool dude. He also created a different channel where he's like building up cars, but he seems like he stays to himself and he does his own thing, and nothing's wrong with that. He says he's kind of more like a sigma male, which is he's not beta, and I guess he doesn't want to be called alpha, so he's considered himself as a sigma male. Boom, bringing it back to New York City. You got this kid called Mindful Attraction. His YouTube channel is mindfulattraction.org. Now this dude, he also gives males and females advice about relationships. Alex at Mindful Attraction, he usually has like a book club, and one of his favorite people that he likes to reference is Robert Greene. He also references from the 48 Laws of Power. He seems like a really intelligent dude. He puts a lot of thought and psychological analysis into the situations that we get ourselves into when we get into relationships. Shout out to Alex from mindfulattraction.org. Now let's say you checked out all of these guys that I recommended so far, but you just want something stronger. Let's say you just have thick skin and you want to be chastised to get the message through to you because nothing else works. Now, when you want the hard heat, when you're ready to take some punches to your ego, check out this dude, Steve the Dean Williams. Word up, shout out to Steve the Dean Williams. He has this thing called the man mindset, and I guess that's his thing, where he's schooling guys on how to behave with chicks. He gives guys like really tough love, and a lot of people, they don't like him. They think he's a narcissist. They think something's wrong with him, but a lot of stuff that he says is really good information. He usually does a show with Mr. Locario and Miles Cunningham. They have callers in, and a lot of times when guys call in, sometimes they get into arguments with Steve because Steve ready to blow up on him. Everything he's doing is out of love, and he's trying to get the message through to guys on how to conduct themselves, because a lot of guys, they go around conducting themselves like girls, because he says that what you got in your pants is tighter than what the girls got in their pants. You got to drop that and start to be a man. A lot of guys, they just have a problem with his delivery. If you have thick skin and you're ready for a stronger dose, check him out. Check out Steve the Dean Williams. Another person putting it down in the manosphere is Rom Wills. Now, Rom Wills is the smooth dude. You know, he seems like the ladies' man or whatnot, but he's getting it in. I'm not sure where he's at, but he's kind of like one of the older OGs in the game. He's coaching guys and, you know, telling guys how to deal with women. So check out Rom Wills. And now, my friends, it's time for the Bpx Honorable Mentions. For the honorable mentions, I'm just going to be rattling off some names that I probably didn't go into depth with, but definitely check out these channels, all right? Here we go. We have Sandman. Then we have Solo TV 84. Check out Replicant Fish, Proper Garden Tool. Check out Manosphere Highlights Daily. Then we have Alexander Grace. Check out Afi Kingdom. He usually rolls with Mr. Locario, or sometimes, you know, he does segments with Mr. Locario too. You have Eddie Fuse. You have C Boogie Productions. You also have Donovan Sharp. He's like a very intellectual guy, and you know, he has the whole professional setup and stuff like that. Definitely check out Donovan Sharp. You also have Coach EO. Coach EO also rolls with Mr. Locario. You know, sometimes he's on a show and they drop like truth bombs, and they have good talks on the show too sometimes. Next you have K-Zaggin20. K-Zaggin20 is usually on Mr. Locario's show too, and it seems like all of them on the same page, and they usually take calls and they talk to guys about how to deal with women and how to manage women. K-Zaggin20, big shout out to you. You have Casual Bachelor. You have the 33 Secrets. Check out his channel, 33 Secrets. You also have O'Shea Duke Jackson. Damn, I don't even want to talk about it, but there was some beef recently between him and the Satanist Sinner. The Satanist Sinner, Marquette posted a video of him in Brazil, and then O'Shea Duke Jackson tried to say that his assistant was busted, so Marquette went at him, and it was a whole big thing. Hopefully they resolve the situation because there shouldn't be any beef in the Manosphere. We're all trying to help each other and grow. The next you have the Book of Alpharonomy. Check out his channel, the Book of Alpharonomy. Next you have Strong Successful Male. His channel is really good. He usually does his videos from his car. He goes through stories that either a guy sent him or that he's read somewhere in the media, and he diagnoses the situations. I usually tune into his channel a lot, and he seems like the stuff he talks is really good. So check out his channel, Strong Successful Male on YouTube. You have this guy named Ted Santos, and he's kind of like a older guy. He's one of the OGs, and I think he's also in New York City. So we got a lot of good people from New York City dropping jewels on you know what I mean? So shout out to you, Ted Santos, flying all the way out to the UK. Peace out to all my people in the UK putting it down. But this guy's name is King Riches, and he's from the UK, and he's like a younger cat, but he's dropping jewels. You know, he's schooling everybody, including his peeps in the UK, on how he manages his affairs with women, and he also takes calls, and so, you know, sometimes chicks calls up, and he's putting them in a place, he's trying to work out situations on how guys and girls deal with each other. So shout out to you, King Riches in the UK. To sum it all up, my top favorites is Mr. Locario, Kevin Samuels, Coach Greg Adams, Strong Successful Male, Richard Cooper, Fit X Fearless, Alpha Male Strategies, Young Men's Red Pill Daily. I see like a lot of honesty in him. You know, he seems like a real genuine dude. Darius M. Darius M is a really good YouTuber. Darius M is one of the top ones. Replicant Fish, his stuff is funny too. He always had these Skeletor references from He-Man where you go, just like a woman. So it's funny as hell. And Proper Garden Tool, this like synthetic robotic voice or something like that. So yeah, Replicant Fish, his stuff is pretty funny. He kind of like makes fun of situations and stuff. So you can have like a good time watching his stuff. So that concludes our recommended YouTube list for people to check out. Yeah, definitely check out those channels. This is Bpx with Blu Pill Exodus, representing the exodus from the Blu Pill to get into awareness. You don't have to be Red Pill, you don't have to be MGTOW, they call it MGTOW, men going their own way. You don't have to be Blaque Pill or Purple Pill or any of those variants, but definitely get out of the Blu Pill. The Blu Pill represents unknowing, sometimes being willingly ignorant about the things that's happening around you. So definitely get out of the Blu Pill and try to become more aware of the situations that you get yourself into. So that's what Bpx is all about, and we're going to be giving you more of these videos. I ask that you subscribe to the channel, join the Exodus with Bpx. Tell your boys about it, tell everybody that's Blu Pill about it. I'm going to help you get into the Exodus and help you become more aware, and I'll check you guys out on the next one soon. Peace.